All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our our weekly huddle here. It looks like my screen is kind of going a little in and out. I feel like I'm a little robot-y choppy. So anyway, hopefully we're going to be good. If you can hear me okay, at least that is the most important thing. If you guys can hear me, give me a little thumbs up, a little bit of raise the roof, a little bit of whoop whoop. Okay. All right. So there we go, Victor. I like that whoop whoop. That was very well done. So if you can't be on camera, please do so. If you're watching us on the replay, this is going to be an important topic here today that I think can hopefully help everyone understand really kind of the power of network marketing and the power of simplicity and the power of consistency. So inside of our business model. So I'm hoping that we take this training to heart. I'm going to do my best to deliver it here. Before I get into the actual content of our conversation here today, I wanted to talk to you guys about what we've got coming up here. So we are basically a month away from being in Las Vegas all together at a View from the Edge. So a View from the Edge is, I'm telling you, I can't wait for this training. I'm so excited. I'm going to turn my video off here and see if I can get it to come back on, and hopefully it's not as glitchy. Because I'm still showing up like super glitchy on my side. Am I showing up glitchy for you guys, or is it just me? Showing up glitchy, showing up fine. I don't know, whatever. I guess as long as you can hear me, we're good. So, but at View from the Edge, we have our roadshow that's happening here real quick. And it's one of those things that I'm just so excited about, because this particular roadshow has some of the most amazing, we're having Marcus set in small groups, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people. Now, I don't care whether you're like, well, he's not coming to my city. And he's not coming to my city either. So, now the most important thing is, who do you know in these markets? Who do you know in these areas that we can get people plugged into so they can see this information, right? So roadshow.com, secretroadshow.com. I'm going to be updating this every time I get a new flyer, every time I get more information about it. I'm going to be updating this. This is our website that has it. But you can see here, we've got Muzaffar down there in Colombia right now. We've got Atlanta coming up here. We've got Tampa coming up here. We've got Raleigh, North Carolina, Bogota. I'm going to be in Miami on Friday, and then I'm going to be in Puerto Rico over the course of the weekend. We've got Marcus in New York, then in Cleveland with Tim Herr, and then Dallas with Byron Schrog. So, and then there's more and more and more and more events that are going to be coming up here. So getting connected to this is going to be very, 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 very important. Okay. The next thing I wanted to make sure everyone know about is a communication channel. One of the things is I'm getting access to information very quickly, and I'm trying to disseminate it as best as I can. Now, we have Blue Diamond and above WhatsApp groups. We have Platinum and above WhatsApp groups, Diamond and above. We have Ruby and above WhatsApp groups. We have Bronze and above WhatsApp groups. But there are some of you that are maybe not getting that information passed on quickly. Okay. So, or they're not getting it connected very fast. And so what I wanted to do here real quick is I wanted to make sure you guys knew about this communication channel that I have through WhatsApp. So I'm going to pull this up here. And if you haven't seen it already, okay, I have let's see if I can refresh. Okay. So, oh, that's weird. Why is it not showing it? Okay, hold on one sec. So I have a WhatsApp communication called Jesse Mac Secret Updates. All right. So Jesse Mac Secret Updates, secret information. And inside of this, basically all it is it gives access where I'm going to be posting up replays of my calls. I'm going to be posting up where I'm going. I'm going to be posting up trainings. I'm going to be posting up as much of that stuff as possible. So if you are getting this, I want to make sure and pull this up here. I'm going to copy it and put it inside of the chat box here. Go to chats. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So bam. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So this link, if you go to the chat box, has that information where you can see, you can join the link and you can share this with your team. This is a WhatsApp group that's open to anybody and everybody, that's more than welcome to. So what I'm going to do here, because I'm so fuzzy and it's driving me nuts, and my screen is really glitchy. Hold on one quick second, guys, because I want to get into our training. What I'm going to do is this. I see Diamond Agent Mike Zanardelli is on here. I'm going to do this here real quick. Mike, I'm going to make you a co-host real quick. Hold on one sec. Make a co-host, make a co-host. Okay. So, and Leah Johns, I'm going to make you a co-host. So that way real quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out. I'm going to log back in. So that way it doesn't kick us off. And then we're going to get this training started. And let's see if I can get my camera to work a little bit better here. Hold on one sec. Okay. So leave the meeting. Bam, bam. It's a little bit better, but it's still a little choppy. Anyway, that's all right. We're going to get into the training here, and we're going to rock this thing out. So I want to write you. I want you to write this down inside of your notes here. It's a very simple concept here. Is what do I do in my business on a daily basis? And this is one of those questions that I get sometimes from people. I get from leaders. And what is it that I need to be doing in order to be successful inside of my business? Okay. And there's really kind of what I call a baseline. So, and one of the biggest myths inside of network marketing is this concept of maintaining. Maintaining is not just a myth. Maintaining is literally a kind of a death sentence inside of your business, right? So I want you to write this down. There's only 3 phases that you're in inside of network marketing. You're in creating momentum. What a lot of times or building momentum, you're replacing, or you're declining. It's one of the 3. You're either building momentum, you're replacing, or you're declining. If anyone is in maintenance mode or maintaining mode, that immediately means decline. And the reason why is this, is we have attrition inside of our business, okay? Are there people that start and people that stop all the time? And it's one of those things that I had to get my head wrapped around in the very beginning of my business, because it used to be really frustrating for me as to how many people would start and how many people would stop, okay? And so what you need to be doing at a minimum, if you want to quote unquote maintain, you have to at least replace what's falling off. Think about it. Now, attrition leads you to the privileged lifestyle. It's one of the great things inside of this. Unlike a traditional business, one of the biggest issues is hiring and firing. And inside of network marketing, you don't have to fire anyone. They just quit. They just go away. It's great. So you're only left with the people who are really serious, who really want to do it, or really, because this is a volunteer business. People can do as much as they want, or they can do as little as they want. It's totally up to them, right? So now that's why I love leaders inside of network marketing, because it's not positional leadership. It's leadership on another level, because you're leading a volunteer army. None of you have to show up here on Wednesday. You choose to show up here on a Wednesday to get training, to grow your business, to learn this. I can't hold your paycheck over your head. All I can share with you guys is I've got information that I think can help you grow your business, and you show up for it, right? That's incredible. So the reason why I'm bringing it up in this is I want you to think about it like this, okay? So let me pull this up here, and we're going to draw this thing out here, and then we're going to show you guys a little bit about what to do. So Sue cameras. I think it's that camera is being funky. So hold on one second. Ta-da. Yeah. So I don't know why it's driving me bananas. Hold on one second. If I switch over to this camera, you guys can see me on this one a little bit better. At least it's not as fun. It's not as clear, but at least it's not choppy. So let's talk about this here for a quick second. If you bring in, okay, at the beginning of the month, let's just say it's you, okay? At the beginning of the month, it's you, and you bring in 10 people, okay? You bring in 10 people and 9 quit, 9 agents, okay? And 10 quit, okay? So what a lot of people look at is this. They look at that as 90% attrition. 90% of the people that joined quit, right? But at the beginning of the month, it was just you, right? At the end of the month, it's you plus 1 more person, 2. So this is where you started with, this is where you ended up at. So you can look at it as 90% attrition or 100% growth. Ooh. Oh, that's a different way to think about it, isn't it? At the beginning of the month, you had one person. At the end of the month, you have two people. Isn't that 100% growth? Yeah. What if both of you go sign up 10 people each? You sign up 10 people each, 20 people. You sign up 20 agents in the next month and 18 of them quit. Okay. 18 of them quit. You're like, gosh, that's 90% attrition. 90% attrition. Or there was two people at the beginning of the month. Now there's four people at the end of the month, 100% growth. Now, why is this important to really kind of evaluate when you're looking at your business is what a lot of times we do is we misidentify joiners as builders and or as producers. Now, joiners are fantastic, and you're going to have to go through a lot of joiners to get producers. You're going to have to go through a lot of producers to get builders, and then you're going to have to go through a lot of builders to get leaders. And that's part of it and the expectation. But what I got to do on a regular basis and do on a daily basis in promoting my business is what do I got to do to be consistent? So I want you to write this down in your notes. Okay. It's very simple. It's what we call the core 4 daily disciplines. Okay. Okay. Core 4 daily actions. Okay. So daily steps, daily actions, the core 4. So these core 4 are very simple. Okay. The first of which is really simple, which is use your products. Okay. Use your products as being a product of the product. Now, I know this sounds redundant, but it's very interesting to see how the people who use the products the most become more successful. And the reason why is they have a bigger attachment and they're really genuinely sharing their actual experience with the products and the program. Okay. So now this needs to be 2 times a day. Okay, so morning and night, obviously, our skincare. Question is, how many products are hitting your body? Now, for me, I mean, gosh, how many secret products are hitting my system in a 24-hour period of time? So we've got our toothpaste from South Korea, just used this morning, which hint, hint, wink, wink, nod, nod. How many guys think we should have a fluoride-free and a sulfate-free and an organic toothpaste in the world of Seacret? How many guys think that might be a good idea at some point? So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to come to the United States of America, but I think we should have one eventually. But using your products. So in the shower, I've got products in my shower that I use when I got out. So I got my eye cream. I've got that stuff. I've got my nutrition. I've got 2 products already in my system. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've got 3 products in my system. So it is 9 a.m. at my time, and I've already got about 7 secret products on or in my body. So, and how many throughout the day? Like it's a secret house. So how many can you use? Can you do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? How many can you use in order to get the results that you're looking for? So that's first off. This one's pretty self-explanatory. The next one is a simple concept, okay, which is 2 exposures a day, okay? 2 exposures a day, 2 exposures a day. Another way to think about this is invites, okay? Invites. What I want to do is I want to invite 2 people to start taking a look at Seacret and getting them what we call in play. In play is somebody that is between yes and no. They're between yes and no. How many people do I have that are in play? And so I always heard you always want to have a minimum of 10 people that are in play between yes and no. If somebody says, yes, I'm in, they're not in play anymore. If somebody says, no, not now, they're not in play anymore. If somebody says not now, but maybe in 6 months, they're not in play right now. They're in play in 6 months from now. We're looking for 10 people that are in between making a decision. Now, I also heard if you want to be a big recruiter, you want to get 100 people in play. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds like a lot of people, right? And it is, right? So, but when I learned I could do 10, then I could, well, maybe I could get 20, maybe I could get 30. And what helped me get to 100 people in play consistently, which helped me recruit people every single month, like every month without fail, was that I started realizing that this was an invite game, an exposure game. And in the beginning, you make up in numbers what you lack in skill, but it wasn't so much about the exposures, it was about the consistency. So let's look at some of these numbers here real quick when we go through this. So 2 a day, okay? Let's look at these numbers here real quick. If this is you, okay, all right, and you are one person, and you're gonna do yours exposures, okay? And you're gonna do 2 exposures a day, 2 invites a day, right? And if this is days, so if for 1 day, that would be 2 if it's just you, all right? If on these 2 exposures, let's say a week, okay? Let's say you did 5 days a week, that would be 10 exposures in a week. A year, let's say over the year, 52 weeks in a year, but we're going to take 2 weeks off. That's going to be 500 exposures for the year. 500 exposures for the year. Now, 500 exposures a year is a really good number. Now, 2 a day doesn't seem like a lot, but 2 a day, 5 days a week is 500 for the year. If you did 500 exposures this year, I promise you somebody's joining. I promise you. Like, you can't be that bad. You guys know that, right? Like, you could be the worst secret agent on planet Earth and somebody's still buying. Somebody still join. You could convince people not to try to do it. And they're like, no, this stuff is really good. I'm glad you sent it to me, right? You're going to look, even a busted clock is right twice a day. Think about it. Think about it. Like, you could be that broken and still have a win here. If only 1% of the people joined, 1% of the people joined, that would be 5. That'd be 5 people. 5 people that would join. Okay. So 5 people that would join. Now, if you had 5 people the next year doing the exact same thing, 2 exposures a day. Okay. 2 exposures a day. 5 times 2 is how many? 10 exposures a day. No, I'm not asking you to do 10. I'm asking you to do what? 2. But those 10 a day is 50 a week, is 2,500 a year. 2,500 exposures a year. And all of a sudden you have a business that's starting to look pretty darn sexy, right? 2,500 exposures a year. And that's just 5 people doing 2 a day. Now, that's not 5 joiners. That's 5 workers, people that are actually following the program. And here's what I found. It took me about a year of doing this consistently and then showing my results to get other people to follow along. So it's going to feel a little lonely. The first year network marketing is kind of like a survival year. It's almost like I kind of want to create a show called, Network Marketing Survivor Island, which is like for 1 year, just throw them on an island and just go, look, if you can survive an island, 1 year on this island, you can do anything. Because it's really true. That first year is so challenging, and the mental fortitude that it takes, and learning how to overcome rejection, all these challenges and problems, and learning a system, and realizing that some of the people around you are not very supportive. They're hangout buddies. And there's nothing wrong with having hangout buddies, but I also realized that some of my hangout buddies were really negative. Like, they weren't about going to the next level. They weren't about it. And I heard a long time ago, I said, look, if you can't change the people around you, you need to change the people around you. There were some people I had to spend days with that I had to take down to hours. There were some people I was spending hours with I had to take down to minutes. And there were some people that it was just birthday text and, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. And I love you and I do care about you, but I am not staying back here with you. I'm not staying in this area. I'm not staying in this zip code. I'm not staying in this mindset. I'm just not doing it, right? If you want to stay in a poverty mentality, you're more than welcome to. That's your choice, but that is not where I'm living. I'm moving on out. So, but 2,500, if 1% said yes, that would be how many? 25 people. If 25 people did 2 exposures a day, and those 2 exposures a day would be 50 a week, 50 a day, 250 a week. That's 12,500 exposures a year. You know what that's called? Done. Like, it's done. Like, now, this isn't huge numbers. Now, these numbers seem huge, but if you really look at it, is it really that big of numbers? No, but it really starts with the beginning basis of consistency. So when people say, what do I do every day? Here's what most people do in their business. They think about their business a lot, but they do it very little. And what happens, generally speaking, is they're inconsistent with their business, and they start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. And so what ends up happening is they actually don't get any of a real compound effect going in their best interest. Now, this was one of those things that if I was to say inside of my business that I did very well, it was this. I was relentless. I was ritualistic. I was religious about doing my 2 exposures every single day. And once I got this system down, this became something. Now, in the beginning, this was challenging. It was hard. It was really hard. And today, the idea of 2 exposures being hard a day is like a joke to me. But in the beginning, it was like, and doing it every day, and the way I think about it is this: how many of you have kids and trying to get them to brush their teeth twice a day, morning and night? How many of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And it's just like, look, my brother's 13 years younger than me, so I was kind of second dad. And my parents separated, and my mom and my brother moved in with me when I was 20 and he was 8. as a 7 and 8. And I remember kind of being like second dad and watching my mom and me to try to get my brother to brush his teeth twice a day. You would think, you would literally think we were torturing him. Like literally, we were putting him in a torture chamber with sleep deprivation. It was just like, are you kidding me, right? Of creating this habit of twice a day. Now, once you start doing it and it becomes a habit, you don't think about it. It's not a problem. It's not. And that's how 2 exposures was for me. Okay. And so it got to the point where it was 2 exposures a day. What was challenging in the beginning became easy. Now, what I'm interested in is not the exposures. Here's what I'm interested in: the habit of doing it. Okay. The habit of doing it consistently every day, like every day. Now, I'm not saying you got to do 7 days a week, but you got to do at least 5, right? So if you're taking the weekend off, that's fine. If you have a day of rest, a Saturday or Sunday, it's Yom Kippur tomorrow, by the way, for all my Jewish, my tribe out there. But what I really want you guys to really kind of take this on is, how many exposures did you do yesterday? Did you do 2? How many did you do the day before? 2? How many did you do the day before? How many did you do the day before? How many did you do the day? How many did you do the day before? And I want you to be thinking about this is how much am I doing my business and how much am I thinking about my business? How much am I doing my business and how much am I learning in my business? Now, learning is good. Learning is great, but most professions don't consider learning a part of working. They don't. So a good example is, if I do real estate and I want to sell homes, I get paid to sell homes. If I sell homes, I get paid. If I don't sell homes, I don't get paid. Network marketing is similar. We don't get paid for time invested. We get paid for results produced. That's what we get paid for. We don't get paid for time invested. Okay. So we got to figure out how to produce results. So producing results is one of those things that's really important. So how do we do that? We focus on doing enough activities, enough showings, enough bookings, enough invites, enough whatever you want to call it, right? So, but through these invites, one of those things that I learned through that process is understanding that, making sure that I was doing the business and learning. If I'm doing real estate and I go to a real estate seminar, most people consider the real estate seminar a way to learn how to do the business more effectively. They don't consider it working. Most network marketers consider this working, my business. Oh, I did a lot. I did a lot this week in Seacret. I was on a company call. I was on a training call. I was on a mastermind call. I was on this call, and that's not doing the business. I know. I want you guys to know that's not doing the business. So, and here's the reason why: it's more comfortable. It's exciting to learn, exciting to get on these calls. And our speakers are dynamic and charismatic, and they got information and they know what's going on, and they make you feel good and they pump you up. And they're like, man, I did Seacret as I love Seacret. I love being in Seacret, but I'm not making any money. And I'm not making any money because I'm not doing the actual work. It's kind of like going to the gym. I want you to think about it like this. It's kind of like going to the gym. And I want you to think about it. If you study nutrition, does it give you results? No. If you watch YouTube videos, does it give you results? No. If I go to Orange Theory and I watch people work out and I was like, oh man, I'm fired up. The music is so good here. The energy is just the vibe. Oh my God, I love it. And I just watch everyone work out. Do you get results? The answer is no. A lot of us right now, but we consider this doing Seacret. It's ain't doing Seacret. So these exposures. Okay? Now I want to give you some stupid stories from back in the day, because this is before, ad tag message groups. This was before Facebook. This was before Zooms. This was before I was making 6 figures inside of network marketing before I sent text messages. I was making 6 figures in network marketing before I joined Facebook. It's not a joke. In fact, the first year I made 6 figures is when I joined MySpace. You guys remember MySpace? Right? So I joined, I was like, what is this thing? I got to add my 6, and who's Tom? And why is he my friend already? How many of you guys remember Tom? Right? So I'm really grateful because I grew up in an era inside of network marketing where you had one thing to do, which was call people. That's all you got to do. So 2 exposures. Now I ran out of my warm market, so I had to learn cold market. And when I had to learn cold market, most of you guys, you can meet people online. You guys are so spoiled. It's so crazy. There's Facebook groups you can join out of interest of everything you knew. You can learn attraction marketing. You can learn all kinds of marketing. You can communicate with people through WhatsApp. You can communicate in different time zones. You can message people at midnight and that's not weird anymore. Can you imagine in 2002 calling or messaging somebody at midnight? They'd be like, you need help, please stop, right? So, but I remember like cold market, I learned how to, I was that guy that I was like, what do I do? And I'm walking through the mall and, and I'm like, I'm stopping random strangers in the mall being like, hey, you look sharp. What is wrong with me? But I learned to follow my dollar. Anytime I exchanged money, I did an exposure. And then I started learning how to expose cold market people and get their information. But I remember one day being so like distraught because I didn't get my 2 exposures. It was a busy day. I had class, I had school, I had teaching, and it's like 11 p.m. at night and I don't have my 2 exposures for the day. I got in 1, but I didn't get my second. And now I'm like driving around. I can't go home. I got to get my second exposure because I can't get it on Facebook. There didn't exist. Right. So I'm driving, this is like 2003. I remember driving around my neighborhood in North Los Angeles and everything's closed. I can't even go to the supermarket. And here's what I used to do. You guys remember cassette tapes? I don't know if you guys remember cassette tapes. So we used to have cassette tapes and then we ended up transferring from C to CDs. And what we would do is we would buy these CDs from the company and we would give them out as exposures to people. Right. And we had to pay for them. They were $2 a CD. And then they got really cool because one side was a CD, the other side was a DVD. So one side you could listen to. So we were like, oh, we have this cool technology. And then what we would do is buy these. They were $2 each and we would pass them out. So I would give them out to people. And I remember just literally going to people going like, hey, my company makes me give out 2 of these a day. Please take it and watch it if you want to. Peace. And I would like run. And you think that's a joke. Like we used to make jokes about this. I don't even care if you're driving down Sunset Boulevard and you chuck 2 of these out your window and being like, you get a CD, you get a CD, Merry Christmas, right? So, and it's like June, like, I don't really care if that's how you're doing the business because it wasn't about the 2 CDs. It wasn't about the 2 DVDs. It was about the 2 a day. I don't care about the exposure. I care about the habit. I don't care if you sucked at brushing your teeth that day, or even if you didn't use toothpaste. I just want you to get in the habit of doing it in the morning and doing it at night. Now, you can't brush your teeth 700 times on New Year's and it still works. How many of you guys know that? It's an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So, well, it's really more a shake a day keeps the doctor away. But you guys get it. It's not 365 apples on New Year's. Successful people have successful habits. This habit of getting the habit of exposing a couple people a day, if there's nothing else you get from this conversation is this. Now, many of you guys, 2 exposures is not that challenging. So you know what you need to do? Right? Don't make your minimums your maximums. Do more. Now, but here's the thing. If you do 20 exposures in a day, don't tell your whole team. That's a leadership thing. So because you just did it and you said, look, you had a great day, but heck, a lot of people do 20 in a day and then they miss 16 days in a row. It's like brushing your teeth 20 times and then missing 16 days. That is not a habitual activity that's going to get you the long-term results that you're looking for. It's just not. So these 2 exposures, I'm driving around 11 o'clock at night. I'm trying to figure out what to do. And the grocery store closed, which was like my go-to, right? So I would go to the grocery store. And it was really good because every time you go to the grocery store late at night, I would just buy one thing. I would buy a candy bar, I'd buy a water, I'd buy whatever. And then when I would buy, I would do an exposure with the cashier at checkout, right? Because they have their name tags on and their name tags there. And I was like, oh, Barb, nice to meet you. My name is Jesse. How are you? How's your day going? So, and it's 11 o'clock at night. I was like, long day. Are you getting off soon? She's like, oh, no, I still got to stock and all that stuff. And I would say, hey, Barb, hey, I know this is kind of a random question, super random, but my company's expanding here in the area in Los Angeles. Is this all you do? Yeah, this is all I do. I said, well, listen, are you open? Are you open? Write this down. Are you open? This is really what I'm asking you. Are you open to earning some extra income outside of here? Because I'm a recruiter for a company. We're looking for people. And you seem really nice. All right. So, and here's the thing, I get a variety of responses. No, I'm good. No, what is it? What is it means I'm interested based on what you say next, by the way, in case you didn't know. All right. So, or yes, please, God, save me from here. You'll get that response from people too. So, and I was like, well, listen, now's not the time or the place, but what's a good place to get back to you, Barb? What's a good place to get back to you, Barb? And in Los Angeles, we had different area codes. And so it was like 310 or 323 or 213. And so I was like, Barb, what's the best place to get back to you? Is it 310? And she was like, no, 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 it's actually 562. And I was like, oh, okay, 562. And I would just write a number down. And she was like, what's this all about? And I said, well, Barb, why don't we do this? I'll send you some information, or I'll give you a call a little bit later tomorrow or the next day. And I'll get you some information about what we're doing to see if it's something for you or not. And if it is, great. If not, no big deal. It was nice to meet you, Barb. Peace. And I'm out. Now, I got really good at doing that every single day. You know how many contacts I have? I have thousands of freaking contacts on my phone. I had thousands of contacts because every day it was like a couple a day, everywhere that I went. I would just ask people. I was like, are you open? Are you open? Are you open? Are you open? Hey, I know this is kind of random. Hey, I know this is kind of random. Write that down. I'm telling you what, because people say, how do you transition, from, because I used to make these jokes and I used to have fun with people. So, and I was always trying to make people smile. I found that if you make people smile, they're very keen on talking to you. So anyway, I remember I was buying like a protein shake and I was buying a bag of almonds one day. And I was at the cashier line 11 o'clock at night. This is where I started doing exposures all the time because I was like, if I didn't get my exposures in. So this woman, she grabs the protein shake and scans it and it's like, boop, and then she goes to grab the nuts. And I go, whoa. And she's like, oh. And I was like, be careful with my nuts. And she's like, loses her mind laughing. The cashier next to her starts laughing his ass off. He's like, oh my God. And she literally looked at me and she was like, thank you so much for that. It's been a long day. And I was like, you're welcome. I don't know. You just, because, she looks so sad, right? Instead of thinking to myself, well, here's a woman who's not excited. No, maybe she just hates being there. Maybe, So, and I was like, oh, well, I'm glad I could put a smile on your face. You look beautiful with your smile on. And she goes, thanks for that. And I was like, hey, listen, I know this is kind of random. My name's Jesse, by the way. Nice to meet you. I know it's kind of random, but our company, not my company, our company is expanding here in the area and we're looking for some good people. Are you open? Our company's expanding in this area. We're looking for some people. Are you open? Are you open? Are you open? Are you an open person or a closed person? That's really what I'm finding out. Are you open or are you closed? Are you open to earning some extra income outside of this area? We're looking for people, So, and then what I would say is this, is by the way, and people say, well, how do you approach cold market people? And what I would say is this, I'm a recruiter. Isn't that what I'm doing? I'm recruiting. Are there headhunters out there? Are there recruiters out there in the world? See, what a lot of people do is this, is they try to like be off this. Now with your warm market, you can't go to your warm market and be like, hey, so I'm a recruiter for this big international organization that's expanding. And they're like, what are you talking about, Jess? You're a dancer. Shut up, sit down, go move your feet a little bit, right? So because your friends know you for who you are, they don't know you as this, but strangers don't know you. So you know what I told strangers I was? What I wanted them to know I was. What do you do? I'm a recruiter for an international company that's expanding. I'm a recruiter for a lifestyle company. I'm a recruiter for, people say, well, what do you say? It doesn't, honestly, guys, it doesn't matter. Are you open? Are you open? All right. So are you open to learning extra? So anyway, I'm circling around this. I get to the grocery store. They're closed. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm terrified. I've got my cassette tape. All right. Now I not only have my cassette tape, I got my DVD. You guys remember those DVDs I was telling you about? And I'm trying to figure out, I got to get this DVD out to somebody. And I was like, this is going to be weird. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm driving around the parking lot in Woodland Hills, California. And then I was like, oh, I got a brilliant idea. I figured it out. I'm driving, and inside of that little shopping center is Blockbuster. How many of you guys remember Blockbuster? Right? So it's been a minute. Now they're closed, right? So Blockbuster, but I go to the Blockbuster and I write in, please watch, do not return. And I put the DVD in the return slot of the Blockbuster. And I'm like, I got my 2 in, baby. I got my second one out today, right? Now, that's stupid. You guys do know that, right? Like, it's just dumb. It's dumb. But I'm so glad I did it because I get to tell you this story 18 years later. But the reason why was this, I was that crazy about doing my 2 exposures every day without missing. Here's what they told me. I played video games growing up. Every time, like if you want to get to the end of the game, I gamed that. Everything turned to me and became a game. If I don't want to do anything, I make a game out of it. That's how I do it, right? I don't want to work out. So what did I do? I launched Club Fit Challenge and I put a game with 2,000 people in it. And now I'm working out every day. It's so dumb, right? So, but what happened through that process is I realized that these 2 exposures a day gave me power. And all of a sudden it was like I was untouchable. And the reason why I was untouchable is because I had so many people in the pipeline. I want you to have so many people in communication that you forget to follow up with people. Many of you, the challenge is this: it's not that you can't be successful in your business, it's that you're not doing the things daily that you can be doing to get you enough people that are in play, to get enough people saying yes and saying no. That's it. That's really it. So this is not a luck-based business. It's a consistency-based business. And I got to get you out of that head. That's why I'm spending a god-awful amount of time going over this section. Because remember, I said there's core 4 daily disciplines, and I've spent about 20 minutes on one of the disciplines. And the reason why is because using your products every day, I know most of you guys are doing that. And if you're not, come on, right? So, but this is the one. This is the one. Now, in the beginning, it seems challenging. But for many of you, once 2 exposures a day becomes simple, do more. Now, for those of you guys that were on the platinum and above call, I had a different conversation with that group of people. Why? Because they're at a different space in their business. You don't feed steak to babies. You don't teach calculus to kindergartens. You got to give them math and addition first until they start graduating, getting to the next level. So there was different coaching. We had a bronze and above call last night. I talked to them very differently about what they need to be doing in their business, right? So the reason why is because everybody's at different levels in their business. I needed to get good at doing consistency. What I talked to the platinums and above about is I challenged them, and I'll give you one little thing, okay, is how many invites could you do in a day? What is the maximum possible invites that's humanly possible for you to do in a day? Could you do 30? Could you do 50? Could you do 100? Now, this isn't to scare you, but for those of you guys that are going like, I want to make 6 figures. When I was on my 6-figure run, I was doing an average of 100 outbound calls a day. And in the last month, I was doing 300 outbound calls a day. Now, what I found out was if I could do 300 in a day, I could do 300 every day. Now, that was me waking up at 5 a.m., starting calls at 5:30 a.m. on the Pacific Coast, calling people at 8:30 on the East Coast, and working all the way to 8:30 at night. This is literally me doing 16 hours a day of phone calls without leaving my seat and having food delivered to me and calling and eating while I'm out. Now, that's psychotic. But if you heard my story, okay, it's the reason why is because I made a goal that if I didn't hit my goal, I'd have to go work at McDonald's, and I didn't want to work at McDonald's. So I was doing 300 calls a day, so I didn't have to go work at McDonald's. Now, that particular strategy in this 2 exposures is super important because I want you guys to get is if you do your 2 exposures, here's how I taught this from a game. I do 2, I do 2, I do 2, I do 2, I do 2. I miss, I have to start over. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Did anyone remember playing like Super Mario Brothers or any of these levels, right? There's all these levels and you got to get to the princess and save the day, right? You know, and you got to go through all these different levels. So you go through these different levels. And what I was picturing all the time was every time I'm going through these levels, there wasn't a way to save the game. There were certain games you could save your progress, but there are other games where you couldn't save your progress. You just had to go. And if you completed it or you started over. And the way that I would think about it is every day I didn't do my 2 exposures, I had to put reset and start all over again on my dreams. Every day I didn't do my 2 exposures was resetting the game back to 0, starting all over on my dreams. And so I associated so much pain to not doing my 2 exposures that I just didn't miss. I didn't miss. Okay. Now, is this going to be simple? Yes. Is it going to be challenging? Yes. Is it easy to do? Yes. Is it easy not to do? Yes. It's easy not to do. So we got to get this in here. Now, for those of you guys that are in the business longer, 2 exposures a day, if you think you're getting rich quickly off of 2 exposures a day, you believe in the Easter Bunny. So you're going to have to do more. Now, over a period of time, if you do 2 exposures a day, can you make some money? Yeah, that's your baseline to get you in the habit to being more successful. Okay. The next thing, let's keep going. 2 exposures a day. Number 3. Okay. So the third one here is 10 pages of a good book. Okay. So Personal development. Okay. Personal development. This is one of those things that when you grow, your business will grow. If you want things to be better, get better. Don't wish it was easier, wish for more skills, right? So Jim Rohn says the winds of life blow the same on all of us. It's not the winds of life that determine our destination. It's the set of our sail. Now you can't change destination overnight, but you can change direction. So 10 pages of a good book, is it going to change your life today? And the answer is no. But if you read 10 pages a day, that's 300 pages in a month. That's one good book a month, 12 good books this year. If you do that for 5 years in a row, that's 60 books, 60 good books. You are a different human being. You are. And so much of our business is not what you get, it's who you attract. So much of network marketing is who you become. And some of you have this fear that I'm not the person that can do this. And guess what? You're probably right. When I first joined Seacret, I was not the person that could be this successful. When I first joined network marketing, I was not the person that could be this successful. But you know what I did? I learned. This is not a luck-based business. You're not just good at it or not. It's a skill-based business. And all the skills required to be successful can be learned. Now, some people might have natural skills more than others, but what most people call natural skills is a skill that somebody developed just before they got into network marketing, but it was still a skill that was developed. A good example, people say, oh, well, you're good at teaching people. Well, I started teaching dance classes when I was 15. I was my mom's assistant teaching dance classes when I was from 8 years old. People say, well, how did you start teaching when you didn't know how to teach? Because my mom would teach dance classes at our schools, and I was her assistant. So I modeled my mom. So once I became 15, she was like, you got this. Because I had been the little teacher's assistant, being the assistant teacher with my mom with the dance classes for 7 years before that. So when I was 15, so by the time I got into network marketing at 19 years old, I had taught thousands of dance classes in 14 countries around the world. So people say, well, you're good at that. Yeah, because I had a skill that I developed since I was 8. Right? Now, if I didn't develop that skill, but here's the reason why is you can develop all the skills to be successful. These are the 2 that are on my book, on my desk right now that I'm thumbing through. I always have a book next to me. I always have a book with me. But right now, I mean, yes, we do a lot of audios. People say, well, I don't have time to read. You do. It's just not a priority. Okay. So, but reading the books now, listening is great, but I'll tell you what, most of the time, the reason why people say I'd rather listen is because they're trying to do something else, which means they're not 100% focused on what they're listening to. Now, if you're driving, here's the thing. When I was driving, I was a professional hip hop dancer. I didn't listen to music in my car. There's only 2 things I ever did in my car. I listened to personal development audios, and I was doing follow-up phone calls. That was literally the only thing I ever did in my car. People would get in my car and angry. They didn't want to drive with me anywhere. They were like, because I didn't listen to music. I was like, I'm going to sacrifice this portion of my life. I can listen to music at dance class. I can listen to music when I'm rehearsing. I can listen to music here. When I'm in the car, this is learning time. I got an education driving up and down the freeway in Los Angeles. So 10 pages of a good book. Now, if you do this every month, you're going to get great results from this every single day. And then the last core 4 daily discipline is this, okay, is a workout partner. A workout partner. Now, who's a workout partner? Somebody that's going to be there to help work with you when you're ups and you're downs. It's like if you go to the gym, you want to have a workout partner because if you're lifting heavy weights, it can be dangerous if someone's not there to spot you or watch you. But it's also somebody there that's to challenge you and grow you. So these core 4 daily disciplines, let's take a look at them. Okay. So how much time do they take? Let's think about it real quick. How much time does it take to use your products every day? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? I mean, most of you're showering anyway. So is that really time out of your day? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it shouldn't be, but let's just say it was 10 minutes, 15 minutes. How long does it take to invite 2 people to check out information, expose 2 people? Oh, by the way, I should 2 new people. You can say 2 people every day, right? So 2 new people, how long does it take? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Let's say it took 10 minutes each. That was 20 minutes, okay? Which it doesn't take that long, but even if it did, right? How long does it take to read 10 pages of a good book? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. How long does it take to call somebody that you're having scheduling a workup on, saying, hey, here's what I'm doing today, here's what I'm doing tomorrow? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think if we added all these up, here's what I found out. 1 hour. This is an hour a day. It's an hour a day. I'm telling you right now, these are the 4 most important things that you could do in your business every single day. Nothing else really matters outside of this if you're actually doing the business. Which means if you're not doing these things, you're probably not seeing your business grow that much. But an hour a day, that's 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week. 6 hours a week. That's not even part-time. This is spare time. So for somebody that says, man, do 2 exposures a day is too much, I go, how? How is it too much? It doesn't. Now, here's the reason why: fear, scarcity, all that other things. But let me ask you a question. How much talent does it take to use your products every day? 0. How much talent does it take to expose 2 people every day? 0. How much talent does it take to read 10 pages a day? 0. How much talent does it take to connect with somebody that you're working out with about your goals? 0. This takes 0 talent. This is why it is very easy for me to look at every single one of you without knowing your background, without knowing your history, without knowing your skills, and tell you you can do this. I'm that confident in this. And the reason why is this is not a talent business. It's a consistency business and a skill business. And every skill that you need to learn, you can learn. And yeah, you might be terrible at some of these for a long time. I was terrible at reading. I'm still bad at reading. I still can't spell. I make a lot of jokes about it, but it actually bothers me. Right? So, I mean, thank God we have autocorrect. Like, you're a bad speller when autocorrect can't figure out what you're trying to spell. That's when you're really bad. You're like, come on, I'm close enough. Right? And then I got to redo my sentence with a word I know how to spell. Like, I'm that guy still at 39 years old, right? I don't know how to do it, right? Now, English, people say, well, how come you learn Spanish? You go to Mexico so much. And I was like, learning a language is hard. Like, I'm just getting English under my belt, So, but the reason why I'm sharing all this with you guys is these core 4 things is this. I got to get you to believe that you can be successful, because your actions come from your belief in your philosophies. If you don't believe this is going to work, you're not going to do it. But you can do this. All of you can do this. This is the foundation of your business. Now, I want you to be thinking about is this. Be like, I'm going to be a core 4 agent. I'm going to do it every single day. I'm going to do it every single day. And I want to do it. How many days in a row can you do? Right? How many days in a row? Now, in the beginning, what might seem challenging, just because it's not a habit yet, just like trying to get the child to brush their teeth twice a day is torture. For some of you, this might feel like torture. But then all of a sudden, it'll become so habitual, it'll be normal. When I first started trying to expose cold market people that I didn't know, it was a train wreck. Train wreck, right? Here's how I got to that. Hey, are you open? Our company's expanding. I'm a recruiter. Here's how I got to that and do that so easily and simply. When I first started the business, here's how I did it. I literally went to people and I was like, hey, will you please take this CD? My company makes me give these out. That's how I started cold market, and I would run away, right? And then it went to, I'm just giving out a lot of these, all right? So, and they're costing me so much money. Maybe I should ask for their phone number. But then I was like, how do I ask for their phone number? That's going to be so weird. I'm a stranger, right? So then I started, what I started doing? I started asking for directions. This is how I started all my conversations with random people. I started asking for directions. I would literally go like, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. Do you know where the Starbucks is? Because there was always a Starbucks within pointing distance, right? So, or do you know where Target is? Literally Target and Starbucks were my 2 that I would always ask for. I was like, hey, do you know where the Starbucks is? Yeah. And then they would point me in the right direction. And I was like, oh, thanks so much. Hey, are you from around here? I'm new to the area. Yeah. Okay, cool. Listen, well, I know this is kind of random. And the reason why I came up with, I know this is kind of random. I said it one day and the person went, oh, like it helped me transition. Now you can use your own language, your own stuff. But what I did was this is fail, 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 fail. Got it. Fail, 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 fail. Got it. Oh, I got it. I got it. And then everything became simple because I was untouchable. You couldn't tell me that I couldn't be successful in the business. The reason why? Because there's an unlimited supply of people to talk to. Did you guys know there are people born every day and in 18 years from now, I can recruit them? That's pretty cool, right? There's an unlimited supply of people. We keep popping them out every single day. There's new ones. Every single day, somebody turns 18 and people are like, you recruit 18-year-old? I was 19. Somebody got me. That was a smart move on somebody's part. Right? So look, I want you guys to take this to heart here. Now, for those of you guys that want to challenge yourself, here's what I want you to do. I want you to break the mold of what's possible. And what's possible is this, is I want you to figure out how many exposures can you do in one day? Like, what's your maximum? What's the most you've ever done in one day? And how can you break that? So I want you to think about, what is your personal record? Could you do 10 in a day? Could you do 20? I think you could. Could you do 30? I mean, it sounds crazy, but here's what I want you to know is this, is I want you to challenge yourself this week to have a day where you just go, I'm going to max out today. It's like doing push-ups. What's the maximum number of push-ups you can do? We can all do 2. That's not hard. 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day. No big deal. But what's the maximum until you physically can't do anymore? What's your max out? And then the reason why I want you to do that is I want you to have the experience of doing 10 in a day. Because here's what happens in a month from now, 2 months from now, 5 months from now, I want you to know I can do 10. I've done it before. I can do it again. I want you to know what your max is. So core 4 daily disciplines. Number 1, use your products. Number 2, 2 exposures a day. Number 3, 10 pages a day. Number 4, connect with a workout partner on your accountability of your goals. And let's go make it a successful day. So here's what I've got going on my day. By the way, so I'm just showing you guys here. These are calls. Oh, you can't see it. This is just yesterday. I'll save this training for next week. It's a good one. So I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Let's get to all the view shows. Let's get to the road shows. Let's invite people to all these different events. And we'll see you guys next week. Jesse Mac signing off. Bye for now.
Thank you.